Okay, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shirat David. Baruch Hashem. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Every day is a beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. Baruch Hashem. Hashem is so kind to us. Let's us experience the beauty of Eretz Yisrael. Okay. And it's very important to always thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and then we're learning Hilchos Ha'idah, the laws of giving thanks to Hashem. Of course, we're learning about giving thanks to Hashem with the 4 different circumstances, situations a person finds himself in, whether they were traveling through the desert, right? Whether they were incarcerated, whether they were ill, right? Or they traveled the sea, right? All 4 of those situations, and if a person comes out of them successful, he brings a public thank you. He brought a carbon to the Beis HaMikdash, and he brought along with it 40 loaves of bread, as we learned about, right? And we said, why does he have to bring the bread along? Because he wants to share his thank you with other people, so they can also experience the kindness of Hashem. Okay, and we are learning Halacha Vav. Today we're up to Yud Ches, and Halacha Vav is based on lesson 24 in the Likutey Halachos. And the whole theme of the lesson 24 is to do mitzvahs with joy. That's it. Learn the value and the greatness of doing mitzvah with joy. And any time we have anything in our lives, and we connect ourselves to Simcha, we connect ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And anytime a person chooses he wants to be depressed, he's connecting himself to the Sitra Achar. He's connecting himself to the Malach HaMavos. No, why would anyone want to do that? But we said it's the nature of a person because we come from the earth, right? Because we come from the earth. So it's the nature of a person to want to be atzuv. He wants to be depressed because like the earth doesn't move. It's so heavy. So that's how we are, but we have to be misgaber on it with all our koyach to be besimcha, right?
Because it's our human nature to be sad.
Yeah, because we come from earth. We come from earth. And earth, you ever see earth move around? Earth stays there, it just sits there.
Gravity.
Yeah, it pulls you down.
It pulls you down. The natural thing is to go down.
Earth pulls you down.
You have to do something special to go up.
Mm-hmm. That special thing is simcha.
Right.
Because when you do something with simcha, a mitzvah with simcha, and again, even you could say like this: a person earning their living, if they go to work and they go to work with simcha, that's also a mitzvah. Why? Because if he's going to work with the right idea, that I want to earn my money so I can support Torah learning, I can make nice Shabbos, I can enjoy, I could do mitzvos, right? I could do mitzvos, I could feed my family, I could pay my bills, right?
So that's part of the Sitra Achra. Then it's always trying to make us sad.
Yes,
In a sense.
Yes, and that's why you have to always work to make yourself happy.
We have to work we have to win the battle and make ourselves happy.
That's our life's mission.
Okay.
That's your new paradigm.
Baruch Hashem.
There we go. Okay. Baruch Hashem. All right. Okay, so today, so that's the things we're learning about, and we learned so many different ideas and different ways that a person can bring themselves to joy. And Reb Nosson said, if you can't bring yourself to joy, then even mile de shtuta, even if you say silly words, say a joke, whatever you have to do, jump, do a somersault, do a jumping jack, whatever you have to do to make yourself happy, do it, and do that because you have to get yourself out of depression. We have to get ourselves out of that. We have to be always in a state of simcha, and we have to work on that. It's not an easy thing, but it's a beautiful thing. All right? Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go to Yud Ches inside. Here we go. V'zeh bechinas kol ha'milchama shehaya bein Yaakov ve'Esav. Okay, we had two brothers, Yaakov and Esav, born to Rivka, Yitzchak and Rivka. They were mamish two opposites. Mamish two opposites, right? We're learning about the opposites, right? Yaakov Avinu was ish tamim haya. He would always stay in his tent. He was always been in the oil learning Torah. And Esav was out doing the worst things. And Esav always tried to trick his father. How do I take meiser on salt? He's such a frum guy. He's going to take meiser on salt. There is no meiser on salt, right? But these are the things he did. He did things beramas. He did things in cunning, trickery to try to fool his father. But this is the idea of Bein Yaakov and Esav. There's always a milchama. Rashi says, Esav soine Yaakov. He says it's a halacha. Rashi says it's a halacha. Esav soine Yaakov. Esav hates Yaakov. It's halacha. And boy, the nations of the world, Esav, they really persevere in that halacha. They love that halacha.
Esav was fluent. He kept the halacha.
He kept the halacha very good. Yeah, he kept his halacha. Yes. I said all of them. They're all from, right? It's amazing. Now he says here, Ki ikar hasimcha hu bechinas kedushas Yaakov shehoisa mitasa Sheleimah. If you want to understand joy, you have to look at Yaakov Avinu. Because Yaakov Avinu, his mita was shalem. What does that mean? He was morally pure. He was morally pure. Yaakov Avinu was pure. Bechinas Yogel Yaakov Yismach Yisrael. This song Yogel is a song Gila, right? Song Yaakov Yismach Yisrael, and Yisrael. Yaakov had two names, right? He had the name of Yaakov, and then when he fought with the Sar Shel Esav, he fought with the angel of Esav that night. He was given the name of Yisrael. Right? Sarisa vatuchal, and you're able to do that, right? And that's how he got the name of Yisrael. Okay. Esav hu Edom. The Torah says Esav hu Edom. Edom. Right? We're learning about Edom. We're reading in the Parshas now. We have Edom in the Parsha. Right? Shemimenu kol Goliath. From Esav comes all the Goliaths. Shikras Gabras hu al yedei atzvos. And what's the main point of all of the Goliaths we learned? Is to bring us in a state of atzvos. So we should be atzuv. We shouldn't be full of simcha. That's the whole point of Esav. They do everything to make us in the state of atzvos. Right? They try all of their things. They do a great job today. Free Palestine, right? That's all to make us depressed. Oi, look at this. All around the world, they're saying the same thing. Oi, oi. Who cares what they say? Really, who cares what they say? My Zaydal of Shalom used to say, if someone tells you something you don't like it, or you hear something you don't like to hear, just don't pay any attention to it. He says like this. He said, if you were walking on the street and across the street there was a dog that was barking, would you pay any attention to it? You just walk on. You don't pay any attention to it. So if I don't pay attention to the dog barking, so this guy's making noise, so he's barking, so just move on. But Esav wants us to pay attention to it, right? Anytime you turn on the news, you turn anything, it's the same thing. They're trying their best to make us, what's their war? Atzvos. Because it says, what we learned that if we're going to go out of the gullus with simcha, right? So what do they try to do? They try to make us ba'atzvos. If we're in the state of atzvos, then we can't get out of this gullus. We can't be redeemed. Shikas karusay ayidei atzvos. Bebechinas v'haya kasher torid ufarakta ulay. Torid, what does that mean? He explains here. Taika. Lashon Yelola v'atzvos. Torid, when a person is bothered, torid, they're worried. Like a tear? The person has a worry. He's a daiga. He's torid. He's busy with it. He's so. That's like Yelola. He's toiling and he's wailing. He's wailing. V'oz farakta ulay. What is that? Ze bechinas habracha. V'habracha shehishtadel Yaakov likach me'Esav. That's Yaakov Avinu worked so hard to take the bracha from Esav. Right? He worked so hard to take the bracha away from Esav, where he went in, he had to dress up and all the things he had to do in order to get the bracha from Esav. And he wanted to get also the bechayra, like he says, v'abechayra. Listen to these words. This is amazing. Sheishtadel Yaakov likach me'Esav. This is so beautiful. We're going to see here now. I'm telling you, this is wow. Yaakov made a big ishtadlus to take away from Esav the bechayra, the firstborn. Esav was the firstborn, and Yaakov was holding on to his heel. That's how he got the name of Yaakov, right? He was holding on to the Akev of Esav. He was holding on to the Akev. Habracha zeh bechinas birchas haseichel shezoichen ayidei simcha shu bechinas behabechayra. The fact that you have the bechayra is the simcha, and he's going to explain in a second. Shu bechinas avoida shel karbanos shehayas. You see, before we went down to Mitzrayim, and before all these things happened to us, the Kahanim was supposed to be the Bechayrim. Every Bechar was supposed to be the Kohen. It wasn't going to be a people. It wasn't going to be a tribe. It wasn't going to be a tribe. It was going to be that every family that had a firstborn, that firstborn would be a Kohen. Amazing, right? As we learned, the whole idea of the karbonos, the whole idea was simcha. In the Beis Hamikdash, we had the shir shel yom. There was always music. We said music is simcha, right? The whole idea was as a place of joy. The whole idea was a place of joy. And Yaakov Avinu worked so hard. He made a big hishtadlus. He worked so hard in order to acquire the bechayra, because he wanted to do the avodah. Why did Yaakov Avinu want the bechayra? He thought he wanted to take a bigger inheritance from Yitzchak. You think he cared? He didn't care about that. He didn't care because he wants to be the bechayra, so he gets a double life. That wasn't what he cared about. Yaakov Avinu wanted the opportunity to do the avodah. But if he's not a bechar, he can't do the avodah. The same way if someone is not a kohen, he can't do the avodah. At that time, there was no kahanim. It was that time the bechar was the kohen. So he worked so hard in order to take away the bechar because he wanted to be able to bring the karbanos. Valken hoya ma'isa be'ez she'osak Yaakov Avinu linachem es Yitzchak Aviv me'avulosai al Avram. And therefore it was at that time that Yaakov Avinu was trying to console his father, Yitzchak. Avraham Avinu passed away. And Yitzchak Avinu was sitting Shiva. So we know in the Suda, at the Suda Zavar, you bring to the oval, you bring them lentils, round. They're round, like an egg. You bring the egg to show the circle of life and things like that. Kamaysha Kosev, Vayozed Yaakov Nozid. Yaakov Avinu was cooking for him his food. He was preparing his food. K'may Shamar saying is gan vracha. V'oz yivayava Esav ben Asadeh v'hu oyev. Torah says Esav came from the field and he was oyev. What was he oyev from? What was he so tired? What was he so worn out from? Oyev means like worn out. He's worn out. Why is he worn out? Look what he's worn out. He says, min arechitza. He killed. He went out and he killed. He was a murderer. He went out and murdered. Miniav. He went out and he raped. Ba'avodah zarah. He did all of those things. Could you imagine that? And he came back. So he's oyev. He was murdering people. I mean, it takes... and then he was raping people. Come on, this is terrible, this guy. Shu bechinas kas v'atzvus. It was, we said, the whole taiva, the whole thing of his anger and atzvus. In other words, because he wasn't besimcha, look what it can lead to look what he could lead him to. Could you believe that? Wasn't besimcha, it can lead a person to literally the worst things possible. Murder, rape, and idolatry. Ki Yaakov asak az besudas havra. Yaakov Avinu is making the suda for the avel. Lohaviv lenachmai me'avalos, because he was an avel at that time. Vika nechamahu bechinas fachta mispedi lemachali. Like we say in Mizmah Shir Chanukah Sabayis, right? We say these words. Hafachta mispedi lemachali. You flip over my sadness, my mifsidi. With that's my avelus, the avelus, and turn it over lemachal to be a dance. Take my right. That's a good way, right? Turn over the avelus and make the avelus into a dance. So that's what Yaakov Avinu was trying to do for Yitzchak. Yitzchak Avinu was in the avelus, right? His father passed away. Abraham Avinu passed away. So Yaakov Avinu was preparing for him the Suda to take the avelus and bring it into a level of simcha. Wow. Like we learned the other day, we were learning in lesson 23, Erev Shabbos 23 and 24 in Tinyana. Right, we learned these beautiful words. Sasan v'simcha yasigu. If a person can attain sasan and simcha, right? A person attains sasan and simcha, v'nas yogain v'anacha. Then yogain and anacha runs away. It's bareach. It leaves. It can't be there. We said that they're two opposites. Is simcha and atzvus don't get together. They can't be there. So when a person's in the level of simcha, the atzvus has to leave. It can't. It can't stay. Like we said, you have positive and negative. You can't put the two together. They don't go together. There's a resistance between the two of them. Amazing. The things we learn, Baruch Hashem. Shu tzrichen lahafoich hayogoin v'anocha l'simcha b'bechinas v'afachti avlam l'sosayim v'nichamtim v'simachtim migoinam. In other words, this is the same idea. I flip over the avelus, the sasain, the joy, right? V'nichamtim, I console. V'simachtem miyagoinam, and I can bring them joy from their pain, from their troubles. V'alkein bashel oz adoshim, and therefore he was cooking for him at that time the lentil beans. Daika specifically. Shebahem menachim manachmim avelim. That's what we use to console the avelim. Those that are in mourning, you can cook for them lentils. Okay? Ki adoshim yesh bahem evel v'yesh bahem k'may she'isa b'medrash rabba b'parsha zois ki heim ramzim shegalgal hu shechoyze ba'olam. In other words, like we said, I was trying to tell you before, but now we'll explain a little bit more. The whole idea is you give to an oval an egg and these lentils, the same shape, to show them that, okay, you buried the person, but it's the circle of life, and the person's going to come back again. In other words, we said now, the whole purpose is that Misa was Tov Ma'od because the body gets buried, and really, because it's being it's removing from the body the impurity from the Nachash HaKadmoni that was placed into all of us. When the body goes into the ground, the body gets interred. What's the word we said?
Interring is burying.
Yeah, and then the body. What happens to the body? It composes, decomposes, and then it's left the bones. And then the same way, HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the earth and he made Adam, right? It says that Hashem took earth and he made Adam. So too, when Mashiach is going to come, we're going to see with our own eyes, it's Hashem, the Trias HaMesim. Could you imagine that? All the people will resurrect. That's one of the 13 principles of faith. We have to believe in the resurrection of the dead. It's one of the 13 principles of faith. So if you believe it, you'll see that the people get up, but there's going to be a difference. These people will be rebuilt the same way Adam was built by Hashem, and he was pure. He had nothing to do with impurity. He had nothing to do. Oh, he became impure when he ate from the tree Eitzadas Taivara. Similarly to us, when we came to Kabbalah Satorah, we purged ourselves from all the impurity. We were purged. We were clean. We cleaned ourselves from all the impurity. And we accepted the Torah. We got the 2 crowns, all the things we learned, right? But then after that, when we got involved in the Egel Azov, right? We got involved in the golden calf, it came back again. We got reinfected. We were cured, but we got reinfected. But we're telling the Avel, you give him these things to show him, hey, look, yes, we just buried your loved one. It's true. But he's going to come back alive. Your loved one will come back alive. We believe in Techias HaMesim. And that's why we give them something that's round, to show them that it comes, like we said, in a circle. What's the beautiful thing of a circle? In a circle, no one's first, no one's second, no one's third. Everyone's equal in a circle, right? If you have a straight line, so then you can have the first one and the last one. But in a circle, everyone's equal. That's what they're showing. The main thing is the Tchias HaMesim. That's the main consolation. It's very good, because again, the body will be cleansed. Like we learned. Again, Rav Nosson I try to review it with you, with the things that we learned. And that's Toiv Moed. What was Moed? That the body gets to get rebuilt again, anew, fresh, with the earth that's purified. And we said the same way if a person has a kli. Let's say they have a spoon, right? Let's say you have a spoon that you mixed up. You have a spoon you mixed up. It was a meat spoon. You stirred your coffee with it, let's say, with milk in it, okay? So what are you going to do with the spoon now? You have to kosher the spoon. One of the ways you can kosher the spoon is buried in the ground. Let it stay there for 24 hours. Let it stay in the ground for 24 hours. And then you take it out. It's like a new vessel. It's like a new thing. That's the example that we have today of Tchias HaMesim. The body goes in, it's going to come back out, it'll be pure. Amazing. Okay, this is the idea of the circuit, the Ferris wheel of the world. The world is always spinning over, things are going around. Ki kol hashinuyim hanifloim v'hanayroim she'Hashem yizbarach manig b'hem ba'olamai. all the wondrous, awesome things that Hashem does, how He conducts the world, how He runs the world. Hein bechinas galgal hachayzer. It's all a galgal hachayzer. It's like the way I understand the galgal, it's like a Ferris wheel. Sometimes you're on the bottom, and then the next thing you know, the thing turns around. Oh, now I'm on the top, and he's on the bottom. Right? That's galgal hachayzer. It goes around. It spins around. Sheshar shei bikoray mi bechinas gilgula dinishmasen. And its source is the idea of the Gilgul HaNeshamas. The same way that the Neshamas are up on high, and they come down here, and they go back up on high. Galgal HaChayzer. Shebishvilam nivro miskayim hakol. Because of that, Hashem creates everything, so the Neshama can come in the world, and the Neshama can be tested, and the Neshama can pass the tests, and the Neshama can rise up and come back, be returned back to the Olam HaEmes with purity, with more purity on a higher level. Sh'Hashem Yitbarach mesavev im haneshamas gilgulim nifloim v'neiroim ad ein chekya. HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes the most interesting things with all the neshamas that come in the world. I mean, you speak to people and you see their life stories. And well, even us sitting around this table, all where we came from, right? All the different things and we're all here together now. It's amazing. It's awesome. Isn't it awesome? Yeah. It's all. This is Hashem's wonders. These are the wonders. We're experiencing it right here. Right? We're experiencing it right here. Hashem is mesavev im haneshamas gilgulim nifloim. He makes all these different gilgulim. Hashem he puts people to death and He gives life. Mashpil. Af meroimim. He lowers people, He lifts them up. Moirish umashir. He makes people impoverished, and the next thing you know, they have money. They're wealthy. What? Moirid Sha'ol V'Yal, person can fall into the pit, but Hashem can lift him up from the pit. All these things are all HaKadosh Baruch Hu's amazing reasons. We don't understand, like we learned, why a person has the Yerida, why a person has to go through what he went through. We don't understand. But if we understand there's such a thing as the Gilgul Neshamas, we understand that we were all here before. The Razel said almost every Neshama that's in this world today is a Gilgul HaNeshama. We were here before. This is not the first rodeo. We were here many times before. And every time we come in the world, we don't make all the different tikkunim that we have to make. Sometimes we have to make different repair. We have to make different tikkunim. So then the neshama comes back again. Let's see if we can get it right this time. Right? So we don't understand the reasons why people go through what they go through in life. We have no idea. We have no idea why people go through Yeridas, and then all of a sudden they get woken up. All of a sudden. And we learned many times it could be because another Jew is learning Torah. And he's learning Torah with simcha. Right? He's reading the parsha with simcha, and he turns on the letters in the parsha that's connected to the neshamas all around the world. We have no idea. Could be it happened to all of us. So we have no idea. That's up to Hashem. We don't know. But we do know one thing. Hashem is running everything. And Hashem has a plan for everything. And nothing happens stop. Nothing happens, it just happened. No. Everything is perfectly planned by Hashem. Every nuance of everyone's life is perfectly planned. And each time we come to a different juncture in our life, and to the fork, like we have a fork in the road, you have to make that choice. What am I going to do now? Is that going to bring nachas to Hashem? Right? Is this going to be nice? Am I going to bring more kvod shemayim to the world? Am I going to bring more kavod of Hashem in the world? Or am I going to, if I do this now, well, it's going to go to the other side. So if that's the case, I don't want to do that. Right? This is all part of what we have to do. Shemisham sivuvei agalgalim shel hashemesh vayareach Also, every day we see that the gilgal of the galgal of the shemesh and the yareach. You have the sun and the moon. The sun comes up, the moon sets. The sun sets, the moon comes up. Same thing all around. Ushnei masa mazolos, and the 12 different mazolos, the different constellations. Shal yodam Hashem yisbarach maligay lamay. Through that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created all of these things, and He runs His world. V'akol b'shvil atachlis shel nishmas Yisrael. And all of that is done, all for us. All for nishmas Yisrael. Everything that happens in the world, He created for us, that we can have the perfect set. The perfect set to be in, to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu the way we need to in this situation. You know, like Lahavda, when they do a movie, they make what they call they call it a set, right?
The movie set, yeah.
The set, they set everything up so it should fit with what they need, right? Mm-hmm. That's what Hashem does. Oh. He sets the world up exactly the way we need it to be for us to do what we need to accomplish at that time. Everything is there. Shebayim lezeh oilam v'oivrim bekama golias, bekama sibais v'gilgulim. We go through so many different things. You can't even explain it. Ad shekulam uchrochim lamos v'lachsa v'liyos b'tchias hamesim. Until we all have to pass away. In other words, even Avram Avinu. Great Avram Avinu. Avram Ahuvi. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, my beloved. Right? Hashem said about Avram Avinu, Ahuvi. Hashem said, I love him. He had to pass away. V'azakol yiru v'yavinu pulas Hashem v'neirois aliloisav sha'avar b'zeh oilam b'chol asibas v'agugulim sh'kol echad v'echad. All the different things, all the pu'ulas Hashem, all the different actions of Hashem, they're so awesome, that happen in the world, and all of the different circumstances and situations we find ourselves in, that we all find ourselves in. And believe me, everyone finds himself in a different circumstance, different situation, every time. Shezeh Perish Rashi, Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. Parshas Nitzavim. Atem Nitzavim Hayom Kulchem. That's the Shabbat that we read there right before Rosh Hashanah. Right? That's the parsha we read right before Rosh Hashanah, just about every year. We're all here, we're all gathered here, all of us. We're all gathered here. Kayayim Hazeh Shu Mapil Umeir. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one that makes things dark and He makes things light. Kachu Mapil Umeir Lachem. The same way it was for them, for us, it's the same thing. Sometimes we feel darkness in our life. That's the nighttime. That's the nighttime. And then we feel sometimes light. You see this on Shabbos also. This is connected to Shabbos. Now, halach is if you have something special, let's say you have a special food, you have a special dessert, something special. So you're supposed to save it for Shabbos day, the meal, the day in the meal. Don't eat it at night. Why? Because Shabbos night is very special. But it's still night. But it's still the night.
Save it for Shabbos lunch?
Save it for Shabbos lunch.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'll explain. Shabbos night, it's still the nighttime. It's dark. Yes, there's a lot of light, but it's not bright outside. You don't see Hashem's sunlight. You don't see the rays of Hashem. You don't feel it. But during the day, you do. You do. You see how you can sense the love of Hashem. So because it's the nighttime, and then the Suda of the night is connected to Yitzchak Avinu. You know that? Yitzchak Avinu, Friday night Suda is the Suda of Yitzchak Avinu. Shabbos morning is Avram Avinu. Why? Because Yitzchak Avinu is the din.
He's dead, right?
Yitzchak Avinu is in the nighttime. But Yitzchak, we learned yesterday, is also tzchoik, laughter. You see that the din, it's all the gal achayzer, really, okay, so it's dark now, but it's going to be bright in the morning. He sees it. Hashem makes it dark, so that way the sun can come up again in the morning. Right, you understand? That's Yitzchak Avinu. That's our lives. You have to realize, any time you find yourself in a difficult situation, just hang on. Do a mitzvah b'simcha at that time. Let the time pass, because the world is a galgal achayzer. Yeah, you're in this problem right now. Just hang on. Hang on to your emunah. Hang on to the simcha. You know what that simcha is? It's like the Ferris wheel. The simcha pushes the button. Then it turns around. You understand? You need simcha as the energy. It can move the thing around. But if you stay in the depression, you stay down. You can't get out. That's the secret. You need simcha to turn the Ferris wheel on in order to turn it around. So now you can be on the top again. You don't have to stay on the bottom. You understand? I know it's a silly example, but maybe you can understand. Simcha has so much power. That's why we use these beans, the lentils, to console the mourner. To teach him that the world is a galgal achayzer. Yes, we see now. Yes, your beloved, we just buried the beloved. Yes. But eat these lentils now to show you that the same way they're round, and you eat the part of this one and it's the other, and it's round like the egg is round, eat that because the life will come back again. Now he's in this part. Like we said, now he's low, but he'll come back high again. That's the main consolation. And that's how you can turn everything over to joy. Aval kafar ba'isay shah. Aval Esav kafar ba'isay shah. Esav, he didn't believe this at all. He went against this. He was kaifer. He was a heretic in this. He didn't believe this. He didn't specifically believe that there's another life after this life. He believed, I live for this world. That's it. I live for this world, and that's it. Once I die, I'm done. So I got to make the best of it. I have to kill as many people as I can. I have to rape as many women as I can. I have to serve as many idols, because this is life. That's it. And therefore, because Avram Avinu passed away then, he said, with this old man, he's talking about his grandfather, Avram Avinu, that's Avram. The Midas Adin attacked him, it touched him, and he left the world. Because Esav at that day, like we said, we started off by saying, Esav on that day, could you imagine Avram Avinu passes away, and on that day Esav is out there doing all of those things? Imagine, right? His grandfather passed away, his great-grandfather, that was respected by the entire world. Right? He won the battle of the 4 kings against the 5 kings, like we learned. Can you imagine that? He was a warrior. He was a warrior. The Gemara tells a story about Nachum Ish Gamzu. You know the story about Nachum Ish Gamzu?
Which story?
There was a story that there was one time there was the people, the Jewish people had a problem going on. And they wanted to send to the king. They wanted to send a present. So they got gold and diamonds and jewels, and they put it together in a treasure chest, a treasure chest. And they picked that Nachum Ish Gamzu. He should be the one that goes and brings the treasure to the king. to appease the king. So Nachum he puts the thing on his wagon. He's traveling, and he has to go. He stops. He wants to go to sleep. And he found a little kretschmer. He went to sleep. Meanwhile, there were some robbers that saw. Oh, he has his chest here. They were looking. Oh, wow! Look at that. All this. This is the payday. Payday. This is great. So they take out all the jewels and everything, and they take dirt. They fill up the chest with dirt. Dirt. He doesn't know. Next morning he gets up. He says, Nachum Ishkam, everything is good. Gamzula Taiva, everything is good. Everything is good. Next day he goes up and then he travels to the king. And he says, here, we brought you this beautiful present from the Jewish people. And they open it up and it's dirt. They wanted to hang him. It says the Malach Avil came and said, no, this is very special dirt. This is very special dirt. What do you mean? This is the dirt that Avraham Avinu used. Gemara says this. This is the dirt that Avraham Avinu used when he fought the battle, the 4 kings, the 5 kings. And if you take this dirt and you throw the dirt, it turns into arrows. It turns into missiles. It turns into drones. No problem. This dirt is the best dirt. Yeah, you can bomb things. It's no problem. Just use this dirt. So the king said, you know what? There's one people. I don't remember what it was. He said there was one country he was trying to wage battle with, and he couldn't get it. He couldn't do it. So okay, we're gonna try this. If this is good, then amazing. He tries it. They went to battle. And they threw the dirt, and it turned into arrows. Wow. Amazing. Mamish amazing. It turned to arrows. And he won the battle. He sent Nachum Ishkamzu back with treasures you can't imagine, because he won this whole country. So Nachum meets on his way back, he goes back to the inn to stop. He went to the inn to stop. He stopped at the inn again. And those guys that robbed him the first time, how did he come back? How did he go to the king and open up the chest with dirt and he's here? So they asked him, hey, what happened? He says, it was amazing. I don't know why. I thought we put in the chest. I saw there was gold and things, nice things in there. And when we got to the king, it was all dirt. And they were laughing. Because we know it's dirt. We put the dirt in there. We put the dirt there, right? So they heard that, and he went to sleep. They decided they'll leave him alone with his treasure this time from the king, and they're going to go get a bigger chest, and that same dirt that they used, they're going to go bring the dirt to the king. Could you imagine? He had a little chest. We'll get a big chest, and we'll fill it up with a lot of dirt. Wow, we're going to do great. So they brought it to the king, and they said, here, we brought you dirt. It's going to be arrows. The king says, okay, tells the guy, he says to his men, try it. They pick it up and they throw the dirt. It was regular dirt, like David said before, gravity. It fell right down. It didn't go anywhere. It fell down. They got killed. But the king killed them. But you see, Avraham Avinu, look who Avraham Avinu is. And Esav says, Zokin. The old man. Could you believe that? I mean, he saw Avraham Avinu. I mean, it's mind-blowing to understand that, right? He saw this man, Avraham Avinu. Wow. Al kedamar haliteini no mina adoim ha'adom hazeh. Give me from this red stuff. Adom is red, right? Adom. Lentils are red. They're like a reddish color. So he said, give me this. Took for the dina. Red is the color of din. You know that, right? Red is the color of din. Right? That's the power of din, the powerful din. Shu atzvos. And what's the biggest weapon that the Sitra Achra has? What's his greatest weapon? Atzvos. Depression. That's the greatest weapon. Ki achilas tzadikim hu bechinas simcha, because when the tzadikim eat, that's the simcha, like we learned all about that. Right? The things you can accomplish by eating, making the bracha, how you can elevate your soul. A person, we learned, can come to higher levels and closer to Hashem when they're eating than even when they're learning Torah, if you know how to eat. If you make the bracha and you recognize and you feel the kindness of Hashem, that He gave you this beautiful food and you can taste it and it looks so pretty and it tastes so nice and it feels so you get so close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's simcha. Being close to Hashem is simcha. As it says, you're supposed to eat, drink, and be happy. Right? Eat, drink, and be. That's the tzaddik. Eat in front of your Hashem, right? Eat in front of God. Eat with God with you. And then you'll be full of joy. Sheleimah achilas hakarbonos shu bechinas achilas tzadikim shachlosam tamid bechinas achilas karbonos. The tzadikim, whenever they ate, they would eat. Their eating would be like eating karbonos. That's the tzadikim, because they ate with that level of joy. V'al kein shulchanam mechaper kimizbeach. And then we learned this so many times. The person's table today, your dining room table today, is like the mizbeach. And that's why we said on the table, you're always supposed to have salt on the table. Because there was the law was that every time the Mizbeach had to have salt on it. And our tables are now like the Mizbeach, so there's always supposed to be salt on the table. Esav, Visiosoi, Heim Ikar Atzvos, Zumas Anachash. But when Esav eats, he eats like the Nachash. Depression. Give me that. Shovel. They say he's going to wolf down his food. They have an expression like that? They wolf down their food, right? There's no simcha in that. Right? The person's trying not to choke. Right? He's wolfing it down. He's trying not to choke. Where's their simcha? As the curse when Adam and Chava ate from the tree, ate sadas tayvara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, the itzvan teichlena. Now you can have, because you took the counsel of the serpent, of the Nachash HaKadmaini, the supernal Nachash, because you did that, and you connected yourself to Atzvos, so now when you eat, you'll eat with Atzvos. You see that? It's amazing. Mida keneged Mida. V'zeh higbir oz al atzma Esav Arosha. And that was what overpowered Esav Arosha at that time. Sham aliteni na. That's eating a big hearty meal. Gasa. B'derech halata shehu pegam achila kamuva shehu bechinas atzvos. That's the whole idea, is atzvos. V'al kein yafa amar la Yaakov b'mayadai b'zmanai. And therefore Yaakov said to him, Im came. Yaakov said exactly at the time, this was this perfect opening. Yaakov says, Im came. If this is the case, halitedina men adai mazeh, you want this is what you're eating, this is what you want? Machra kayayim es b'chayras chali. So then good, okay. If that's the case, you don't believe in Tchias HaMesim, you don't believe in Simcha, you don't want to do Karbanis. So what do you need the Bechayra for? Give it, sell it to me. Sell me the Bechayra. You don't want it, you don't even want it. You want to be so involved in your things, you don't even need this. What do you need it for? Ki avoida Bechayra zu bechina Simcha. You're Mr. Atzvos. Esav is Mr. Atzvos. What does he have anything to do with Simcha? Because he picked Averis He picked the achila, the sitra. He wanted to eat like with the satan. He was having a suda with the satan. Al kain ein magia lecha b'cha b'chayra. Therefore, you don't have the b'chayra shu b'china simcha, because b'chayra we said is the koyanim. That's the simcha. Karbanis is simcha. The tzaddikim eat. Their eating is like eating the carbon, and when you ate the carbon, you ate it with joy. Al kain bemis nisratza loy Esav miyad v'amar loy hine anochi hoylech lamos. Esav said, you know what? Okay, fine, you want it? Hey, if I don't eat something now, I'm going to die. The Gemara in Baba Basra says that at that time, he was kaifer in the idea of Tchias HaMesim. Why do I need this b'chayra? He said, what do I need this for? Anyone that doesn't believe in Tchias HaMesim, that's the whole point of our avodah, to understand that we prepare ourselves in this world, and we go through the world the best that we can, and we're we're preparing ourselves for the next world. We're preparing ourselves for Olam Haba, right? And we understand that the life comes to an end, and that's part of life. That's part of the life. And we understand the Tchias HaMesim. We understand that. We say that every morning. You're going to take it away from me, but you give it back to me, for all of eternity. Right? That's what we believe. We say it every morning. He has no simcha. This guy Esav has nothing to do with that. Ki ikar simcha ma she'anu yoidim umaminim she'avodas hakabonos v'amitzvos heim kol tachliseinu v'tikvaseinu lanetzach. Because we know for the end of time, for our good of all, for our eternal good. Our eternal good is our mitzvahs, masim tovim, the simcha that we put into our mitzvahs. Al kein amar karoyulai, hine anechi hoylech lamas, misa olamais. I'm killed from all the worlds. I'm finished, done. V'im kein lama lizeh b'chayra v'oz v'yimka esa b'chayra liYaakov. He sold his b'chayrasai liYaakov. He sold the b'chayra to Yaakov. V'ayedei zeh Yaakov v'achar kach lekabel ha'brachos me'yavim. And therefore, Yaakov was Zeicha, he merited, because now he's the rightful Bechor. He had a contract. He bought the Bechorah. It was his. So he rightfully took the Bechorah. He took the brachas from Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov took the brachas from Yitzchak. Ayadei shechilo achila de kedusha shu bechina simcha. Because Yaakov Avinu brought the meal that was prepared by Rivka Imenu. Yaakov brought the meal that was prepared by Rivka Imenu. She prepared it with the highest level of Kedusha. Right? Could you imagine Rivka Imenu, how she prepared the food? We can't even be masik that. Rivka. How she prepared that meal. And Yaakov Avinu delivered the meal to his father. Shechleu achila de kedusha shu bechina simcha. V'al kein hevi lo yayin. K'may shekasav ayovay lo yayin. Ve'esav lo hevi lo yayin. It says Yaakov Avinu brought Yitzchak Avinu wine. He brought him wine. Esav didn't bring wine. Didn't bring any wine. He wanted the wine for himself to become shikar, right? He didn't want to give it to his father, right? She'isa b'medrash ki yayin de kedusha hu bechina simcha. If you drink wine with holiness, for example, you make kiddush with the wine. You want to have a glass of wine with your Shabbos Suda because you enjoy it, the wine, and you're having it because of you want to be mechabe the Shabbos. You want to give covet to the Shabbos, and you enjoy. Because that brings you to joy. Wine can bring joy to the person. Efrat kioz haya leil Pesach k'may shomer in the Razel. Pirkei the Rabbi Elazar says that night that Yaakov Avinu brought the brought the meal and got the bechayra, the brachas from Yitzchak Avinu, that was Leil Pesach. So on Leil Pesach, you drink wine. Then we drink 4 cups of wine. Because that's when we go out of the freedom from the exile of Egypt. And we said the Mitzrayim is koilel all the Goliaths. All the Goliaths are included in Mitzrayim. Shikra Golos, who Atzvus, the main Golos is the Atzvus. How do you like that? The main Golos is Atzvus. Remember that. And that's why constantly the Atzvus is trying to creep into our lives. But we have to always be misgaber on the Atzvus, and we have to be besimcha. No matter what you do, be besimcha. Therefore Yaakov brought wine. There was simcha.
Can we talk about simcha for a moment? Like, are there levels of joy? For example, I may be dancing, I may be singing, but I also may have like an inner sense of peace within myself, which not necessarily an outward explosion of joy, but inside I still feel
that's the main. The main thing is to feel joyful inside. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. That's the main thing. Many people they look joyful on the outside, but inside they're broken. Inside they're bitter, right? A lot of people they look joyful on the outside. Yeah, you see them jumping and this. You go to these parties. You see them jumping around. They look happy, but they're so depressed. But then there are those people that are sitting nice, they're sitting at the chair, they're learning, they have such simcha. From their learning, that's the point. Now King Kibel Az HaBrachas, therefore he got the blessings then. Ki Ikar Kol HaBrachas Mekablam La'idei Simcha, because all brachas that we get in our life come from simcha. And Shabbos is the Makar HaBracha, right? And that's why we have to have simcha on Shabbos. Because Shabbos we say, Hi Mikar HaBracha. Shabbos is the root of all blessing. How do you get blessing? Simcha. Yaakov Avinu had simcha. That's how he was able to get the brachas from Yitzchak Avinu. And that's our lesson today. It's amazing to understand these ideas of Yaakov, Esav, what was going on, who was Yaakov, who was Esav. How did Yaakov Avinu see Avram Avinu? How did Esav see Avram Avinu? How did Yaakov Avinu see the Bechayra and appreciate the Karbonas? How did Yaakov and Esav despise that? Because all he wanted to do was be involved with his Averis. Why? Because he was involved only with Atzvus. Where Yaakov Avinu persevered and his Mita was Sholem. He was pure. Why was he pure? Because Yaakov Avinu was connected to Simcha, connected to the Rabbeinu Shalom. Okay? Any questions?
They asked about this whole thing with the Esav, that he says Haliteni Na, which is a very, very, respectful.
No, right, no, please.
Poetic language.
No.
It's not really, that's not Esav. What
Yeah.
is that? So he said something very interesting. They said, and any woman that cooks, they'll tell you that when you take red lentils and you cook them, the cooked product is not red. The red goes out. It's not red anymore.
Right.
He said, Haliteni Na, Doma said, Na also means raw. He said, you just put it up to cook. How come just put up the pot on the stove?
Give it to me just like that.
Yeah, I want to eat it. And that's what he said. I ate it,
We ate it raw.
Achila Gasa. That's an Achila Gasa. That's mamish Achila Gasa, right? Okay, all right. So we understand. Okay. Yeah.
I made a decision that you must be a reincarnation of your great uncle.
Oh, thank you.
Not that way.
Why is that?
A newer, improved version.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, unfortunately, Sigmund was all full of depression.
Yeah, that's always that.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, all right, whatever. Okay, Baruch Hashem. Listen, I always have to say that it's only because of the kindness that he did for our family is why I'm here even. So,
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Okay, now let's learn halacha and kitzur shulchan aruch. We're learning hilchas netilas yadayim l'seuda. You're going to wash. You want to eat bread, and you have to wash your hands. It's Siman Mem 40. Today we are up to. Shalom, you want to tell me we're up to? Yud Bet. Okay, 12. Yeah. Okay. We're up to 12. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Here we go. Yud Beis. 12. Mi sheyadav tzivuyos. A person's hands that are painted, that have paint on them. Im ein sham mashmus mamoshois hatzeva ki im chazusa ba'alma. Yeah, let's say it's like this. I think what he's saying here is like this. Let's say you're working with food coloring, or even ink. Let's say ink, right? So if you touched ink, so now your skin has ink on it, but it's inside the skin. It's not on the outside, right? It's a chazusa b'alma. It's there, but it's not. You can't feel it. Lo have a chatzitza. That's not a chatzitza. But if you had, let's say, dried paint on your hand, that would be a chatzitza, like we learned yesterday, or plaster, or grease, or anything like that. That would be a chatzitza on the hand. Let's say you have a car mechanic. He has grease on his hand. Right, so he has to clean off the grease. That's not a chazusa b'alma. That's literally on his hand. The guy that has the food coloring or ink on his hand, if he rubs his hand on something, the ink won't go off. It's inside. It won't. If you took a towel, wipe it, nothing will come off. Maybe if he wipes it really hard, maybe he can, but just by touching it, nothing will happen. What happens if you had the paint, a little bit of paint on your hand, even a little bit of paint? That'll be a chatzitza. So there's two kinds of things. There's one that's absorbed in the skin. That's not a chatzitza. But if something's on the skin, we said again, what's the principle? The water has to touch the entire hand. And if there's some part of the hand that doesn't have water on it, it's not considered a wash if you didn't wash. Achim hu uman bikach haynu shehud tzayveya. Let's say the guy is a painter, right? That's his profession. His uman. That's his umanus. He's a painter. V'chei mishu tabach v'yoda meluchlachos midam. A person's a butcher, and his hands have blood on them. He's working with meat all day long. Aisha who's sefer v'etzbei Esav meluchlachos midyoy mu ragel bekach. Or he's a sofer, and he has ink, right? The ink he's working with to write the parshias on his parchment. He has the ink on his hand. V'chol balei umnois zois ein makpidim bekach. So we're saying like this: if these people they clean their hand the best that they can, but again they do the best that they can. But if there's something there, okay, that's because that's part of their who they are. Like have a chatzitza for those people, right? Okay, but again, if a person's a tabach, he's the butcher, and he has paint on his hand, that won't work because that's not his umnus. The paint that has blood on his hand or grease on it, that won't work. If you have your thing, you clean it the best that you can. And always listen, people have to eat, and the guy's working, and he wants to eat his sandwich for lunch. What's he going to do? So the Chazal understand that. So clean your hand the best that you can. Make sure you don't have a chatzitza. And there's something there, so okay, but that's part of who you are. Elaim keinu b'roiv hayad. But if it's on most of his hand's literally covered with this stuff. V'chein mi sheyesh lei makya al yodai v'alea retiya u'mitztayer la'asira. Let's say a person has a wound on his hand and he has a bandage on it. Right, retiya is a bandage. He has a bandage. Oh, right here we go. Here we go. You take that bandage, but it's not on your hand. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
No, it's if that was on chas v'shalom on your hand.
Question when I'm doing tefillin, is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, all right.
That's not a chatzitza because you need that.
I mean, yeah.
Then we're going to learn about that. That's not a. In other words, if you put it on there because you like to wear a sweatband, let's say. People wear sweatbands, right?
Yeah.
I never understood. Whatever, they wear a sweatband. That you can't have on. Huh?
A watch also you have to take off?
Yeah, you're supposed to take that off. That's a chatzitza.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, that watch is a
But
chatzitza.
a bandage, you need
No,
to
that you no, because if you watch what he says here, no, watch. V'chein mi sheyesh lei maka al yodei v'aleh retiya. He has a wound on his hand and he has the bandage on him. It's style, it's going to be painful to take it off. You know, the sticky stuff, right? It's right? Yeah. Lei have chatzitza, that's not called a chatzitza. How you like that?
Good, okay.
So if the person cut themselves, or they had whatever it is, I don't know, and whatever it is, and they have a bandage on there. So you would think it's not covering. Well, you can't. They can't take the bandage off. Again, because the Torah is v'chai b'hem. We're supposed to live. We live by the Torah. So the Torah, again, when you can, make sure you clean your hands really well. If you're an average person, make sure you clean your hands really well. If you're a tradesman and you have the dirt from your trade on your hand, you clean it to the best you can. It's fine. If the person got a wound and he has a wound on his hand and he has to clean, so then again you don't take the bandage off. He can get an infection or whatever, right? We'll get there. Dine chatzitza betfilas noshim. Yeah, even though listen to this one. See, a lady. So these are all nice, washing the hands and all of that, but a lady that she has tumas nida, which is the highest level of tumah other than tumas meis, right? So the lady has to make sure she's totally immersed in the water. She's not totally immersed in the water, even if a hair is sticking out, even if one of her hairs is sticking out. That's why there's always a lady has to watch her taiva, right? If lady has long hair, so they don't know, maybe one hair stuck out that she wasn't taiva. She has a bandage on her. What does she do? She got a cut. She had a surgery. I don't know, right? And the same ideas for netilas yadayim. But again, everyone has to ask a shaila to their rav. Again, if you have any, you can ask your local Orthodox rabbi. Okay, if you have any questions, especially when it comes to the Hilchas Nashim and it comes to Tfilas Nashim, these are very, very complicated laws. I want to wish everyone a wonderful day, and we remember, the golus that we're in is only the golus of Atzvas, and all we have to do is be misgaber with simcha. We have to make ourselves always full of joy. Everyone, thank you for coming. Have a wonderful day. Emir Hashem will continue tomorrow.
Mordecai.